Hello guys, welcome to another tutorial. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how you can design up your CV in Microsoft Publishers with no designing experience at all. So this is a CV that I'm going to show you how to can create. We are going to create something like this in our tutorial, so please stick around. And if you want to know how to design with this type of CV with no designing experience, then definitely stick around. But before we get started, I just want to ask you, like, if this is your first time, please consider subscribing and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time we upload a new tutorial. Now with that being said, let's not waste any more time. Let's just get started with this. So to get started, I just want to come into our computer here and then open a new publisher file. So just right click on your mouse and then click on new here, and then I just want to choose Microsoft Publisher, this publisher document right here. So let's just name this let's say CV layout tutorial, right? And then plus inside there you got this. So now let's actually open this. So once you open it, you'll see you got it like this, right? So as you can see, you have these margins here. One thing about me is I don't like working with margin, so I'm going to remove all this margin here. So just come to page design and then this margin, so I'm just going to set it to none, right? I remove the margins. Now the next thing before we get started that I want to do is set the measurements. Defaultly the measurements, they are set into, I think, inches. So I'm just going to shade, come here, come to option and then advanced. So yeah, it's set to inches, so I'm just going to be using centimeter. You can use whatever measurements you want, but if you want to follow along with me, just set it to centimeters. Since you prefer, down here in Namibia we use centimeter, so going to keep centimeter. Now the next thing that I want us to do is actually just come up with a design. Already seen our CV how it's looking, so the first thing before you start typing is come up with a design. So we are going to be adding first is this up sign here. So just come to insert, right? I want to insert these shapes. So with this, let's choose this shape here, this right here, right? You got this shape, right? So now if you want to rotate it, as you can see, you got this. If you click out, make sure you click on it so that you can open this format tab, and then I want to rotate it so to the right. So you can see you got it right there, right? And then let's move it. Right now what you want to do is come to wrap, make sure you select it, click on wrap, and then just set it to none for you to be able to move it freely, right? Now you got that, and then now let's actually change the shape fill. Again, if you click out, make sure you are clicking that shape right there, and then come to shape fill. I want to use this other color, so just choose on color. Let's go to Bunsen, and then this color, let's use maybe this one, right? You got that color right there, and then just click OK. Right now you see you got that, right? Perfect. So now what you want to do is, if you zoom in, if you can zoom in here at the bottom here, you see you got those black borders. You want to remove the border, so shape outline, set it to none, right? You got it right there, right? Perfect. Now you want to actually set this right here like this, and then let's say enlarge this. Now the measurements, to have the correct measurement, you can see you got this. So let's just set this to, let's say, 13, and then let's set this to 7, maybe let's set it to 7, right? And just press enter. Now you got that. So let's actually move this right here, right? You got that. Perfect. Now you got that. Now the next thing that I want us to set is, let's just zoom out a bit. Now I want to is set another shape. The other shape that I want to insert is this one right here, a rectangle. So I want to insert this shape, right? You got it right there. Again, do it like change, click on wrap, make sure you set it to none so that you can be able to move it around. And then the next thing that I want to do is change the shape outfill color. I want to set it to this one, or let's say use this color right here, right? and then the outline, I want to remove the outline, right? And then you cut it right there. So now what you want to do is actually move it right here, got it right there until it's close to that, and then stretch it down until here, right? Got it right there, and then you want to move it behind. Let's just enlarge this again, the size until you got that, the measurements, and then I want to set it behind, so send it backward. Now you got it right there, right? You got that. See that? Perfect. So now make sure you save, just in case you end up losing something. You cut that, you save it as your design. Now the next thing that you want to set is actually add a clip art, which is the image right here. So what you have to do is go to your computer, find the other image, whatever your image you want to use, your profile picture. I'm just going to use this clip art right here, so just going to drag that and then drag it and then drop it here, right? You got that. If you don't know how to drag and drop, if you're having trouble, you can come on insert and then picture, click on picture right here, right? And then this window should be opening up, right? And then just go through your computer and find where you keep your image, like that. I'm keeping mine there, YouTube channel, and then the image that if you want to browse the big icons, you can click on that for you to be able to see. Just click on this, right? And then for you to be able to see, this is the clip card that you want to use, right? And then you can enter it, right? You see it's right here. So I just want to keep just wanted to show you another way you can upload that. Now once you got this, let's actually set it up, and then I just want to set it to none, so you can be able to move it around, right? The measurement, you see you carry it right there, right? So now the next thing that I want to do is crop this. Make sure you select the image that you want to crop, right? And then come to crop, and then I want to crop it in a circle. So click to shape and then choose the circle. Now you want to actually crop this into a circle. I'm just going to keep that 5.4, let's say 5.49, 5.44, 5.31, right? You got that. So you want to set this to 5.4, then press enter. Right? You got that. Now just click out. Now you see you got it. Now the next thing that you make sure you click that, and then you want to add the page border. Come to here, and then let's just set this page border right here. See, you got that, right? So you can change the different size border. I want to change, click on weight and then more lines, right? Now you got this option, so you can come here to compound type, right? So click on that and then choose this line here. You got that. Let's say the width of this, the width here, let's set it to 6 feet, right? And then click OK. Now you see you got that, right? So now let's actually move it here, since we want it somewhere here. Let's just enlarge this a little bit, make it a bit wider, right? And then you got that right there in the middle. Perfect. You got that. Now you got that. Now let's actually go around and start writing, adding some text. Just save, right? That's format. Now come into draw text box right here. Make sure you're on your home tab, right? Draw text, and then just click on that, and then you should get this cross. So now you can just drag it, and then you got that, right? So now let's just say we want to add this title, which is curriculum vitae, right? Curriculum vitae. Press enter, and then you want to click off, and then enter again, off, and then the name, your full name, right? Your full name. As you can see, you can't really see it, so to zoom in, and then now you want to change the font size, highlight everything, and then change the font size to here, right? Change that, and then let's just make this a bit bigger. Let's say we want to set it to 20, let's say 22, 24. Right now, the next thing that I want to do is set this in the middle to align it in the middle. As you can see, I click on that, right? And then let's just make this a bit smaller. You got that, drag that. Now you got that. And the other thing, I want to bold this, bold them, and then before we let go, make sure you highlight everything, and then let's just change the color. Let's use this color right here, right? And then you got that, right? That's calibration time off that. Now let's go, let's drag it somewhere here in the middle. Let's put it right here like that, maybe at the top a little bit, right? You got that, so you can set it wherever you see fit, right? Perfect. You can also change the font family that you want. Let's just use, in this case, let's not use Times Roman, let's use Arial or Calibri. Let's use Calibri, right? You got that. Perfect. Now let's actually move this up a bit, so just make sure you align it wherever you see fit, right? You got that. Now the next thing that I want us to do is actually start adding some more text, right? So what you want to add is the profile summary of yourself right here. So again, you can draw up a new text box, or you can just copy this and then paste it down. So to go fast, you can just right click on this and then copy, and then right click and then paste it. Now we want to change this text. Make sure you click out and then click in, highlight everything to remove that, and then now you want to actually set this to career. Let's say career summary, right? Career summary. You got that. Now before we move on, the next other thing that I wanted to do is make sure these are in capital letter. So highlight that, and then come to here. Make sure you're on your home tab. Come here. Once you highlight them, come to this AA here, and then set this to all caps, right? Click on that, and then you can do the same thing with this. Highlight, come here, and then all caps. Now you got that. Now with this, you want to set them to a smaller font. So let's say we want to set it to maybe 16 or 12, 14 or 12. Let's go with 12. No, 12, or yeah, it can be 12 or 14. I just set it to 12 for now, right? And then you want this to be on your left, right? Got that. Perfect. Now let's actually move this here, somewhere here, right? You got that. Now again, you want to, once you got that, the next thing that you want to do is actually add a line that you want to add. Just come to insert, and then draw this line. Click on this recent or line or here, so, and then just make sure you click and then drag, and then it will start drawing the line until let's say here you got that line. Now you want to change that line color, so you can change here to the outline to this color, and then you can also change maybe the weight. Let's use this to make it a bit bigger. Let's use this, right? You got that. Now you want to set it to none. As you can see, you got that, and then you want to move it somewhere here. Just set everything to none. You see, got that right there. And then maybe if you want to enlarge this, if it's not straight, let's say if you align it and it wasn't straight like that, so you can just come to here, make sure you select it, and then remove this height, set it to 0, and then that will press enter. That will straighten it, right? And then I just set this to, let's say to 13.5 maybe, something. Let's see. Right, you got that. Perfect. As your CV right there, so far so good. Now let's move on to the next step. The next step that I want us to set is actually as the summary. Right click on this and then just copy, or again you can throw up a text, throw up another text box, and then you want it right this big. Right, you can just type anything. This is your career summary. So I'm just going to type up this and then fast forward this and type it up a real fast, and then we'll get back to this. So just going to type up something real quick. Right, so that's I type up something. Right, so now you want to actually make sure this you set the right font, so right. If you want to zoom in to read this, you can zoom in. Let me just zoom in for you. You can zoom in right in here, and that you got that. Right, so let's actually make sure you highlight that, and then let's change the font. I want to use Calibri. Right, Calibri recent. And then if you want to change the line between, I think that's fine. The font family, let's choose 210. I think that's fine. And then now I want to set this, come back to home, and then this align that so you don't have everything is straight here. Right, you got that. And then the text box, the drawing, you want to set it to none so that you can be able to move it. And then you got that, and then move it down here somewhere here. So I just type up something right there. So type up, let's just read this through something, zoom in, and then you can be able to read it through. A highly energetic and passionate individual who strive to be an expert in my field of work via passion and challenges, creative and work with a diverse set of work ethic. I bring a strong sense of commitment, motivation, and responsibility to every task that I assign to me, is assigned to me. I have strong communication skill which enable me to effectively communicate with a wide range of people. So just an example of your career summary. You can also add your experience in here and then talk about your skills and stuff. So you got that. Now let's move on to the next. Now the next step that I want us to move on to is add our contact details here. So again, to go fast, just right click and then copy and then paste this right here. So and then click out and then click in, make sure you highlight to remove, and then contact, I want to add this as contact details. You got that, contact details. You can make this a bit smaller, right? And then you can drag this until here, somewhere here, let's say here. Right, and then you want to add the line as well. You don't have to redraw it, you already got your lines here. Just copy it and paste it, and then paste it down here, move it right there. And then as you can see, it's a bit long, so come to format, make sure you select it, come to format, and then just change this to, let's say, to 6 centimeter, and then you got that, let's say to 6 point, maybe 6.3 will be fine. Perfect, you got that. Now the next thing that you want to is actually add your contact details. So what I want us to do first is just insert some shapes, some circle. Yeah, right, got that. Measurement is 8. Text wrap to none, and then the color I want to use this, and then let's say the outline I want to use this white. Right, so now once you move it here, you see you got it right there. Right, got it right there. Now what we want to do is actually add, this is going to be our number, so it's cell phone. Let's just add a text box. Right, I click out and then a text. Right, I want to just write E in the font. I want to use Calibri always. Calibri, let me highlight that, I mean bold it, and then let's change this to, let's say, font size to 12. See how it looks. And then I want to format drawing, I want to set it to none, and then the color, if you move this, let's move this in between here. Sorry, it's not E but it's C. Like to make C, right? So you got that, and then let's just make this white for cell, and then color, let's set it to white, and then you can set this in the middle. Again, just align this, you can move it around how you want it to be, and then set this in the middle. Now that's for C, right? So now to go fast, you want to add the one for cell phone, you want to add your address A, and then you want to add your email. So I'm just going to press shift on your keyboard and then select all of them, or you can highlight all of them like this. Just highlight across them and then it will be selected. And then I want to group this, right? You group that. Now I want to select them, copy, and then I want to paste them 2 times. You got that. Now I want to change this. This is going to be our address to A, and then this is going to be our email, which is E. So now let's actually just move this here. As you can see, you are align them right there, and then move the next one to here. As you can see that they are straight. You got those right here: cell phone, address, and then write email. So now let's actually add some text to this. Again, you can copy this and then just change it. Since you want to go fast, you don't have to draw up a text box. Just copy this and then remove. This is going to be our cell phone. Let's just say in Namibia here we use a code 81. Let's say 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, right? And then you got that, put space in there, right? Let's say that's your cell phone number. You got that, and then you can just move it right here. You can move it right there, and then copy that again, paste it somewhere here, paste it, and then this is going to be our address. Let's say PO box. Since here in Namibia we use PO box, let's say 1 2 3, and then window, right? Let's say that's your address, and then move it, drag it, and then just move it along here. It's fast. As you can see, it's easy. Just type and then paste, copy this box again, right? And then just copy, paste it, right? And then this is going to be your email. Let's just say email at gmail or something.com, right? That's your email, and then drag it and then paste it right here. Make sure they are straight like that, right? So if you zoom out here at the bottom, you can move it along. You see, you got it right there, right? So far so good. Perfect. Now let's move on to the next step. Next step is actually add our let's say our personal details or personal essentials, right? So again, I don't want to move or to rewrite everything. Just copy this text box and then paste this, and then here I'm going to write personal essentials, right? You got that, and then just move it down here, drag it. It's easy, as you can see. Drag it, and then you want this line as well, right? Copy that, paste this, and then just drag it. So easy and fast. Just make sure it's straight. Now what you want to add here is your personal details. So let's say your full name as well, your ID number, maybe your driver's license, the languages that you speak. So what I want to do, instead of rewriting, I'm just going to copy this again, that text box, and then enlarge this, right? So now what I want to write here, let's say it's my name, right? Name, or you can say full name if you want to, full name or just name, right? And then I want to move this. Let's just drag this so that you can see where it's going here, right? You got that. Now you want to put space. To put space, you can just press tab on your keyboard. You add the space there, you can add that space, right? And then your name, you can just write your full name. Let's just say John Doe. right? And then the next thing that you want to add, let's say your ID number or your passport number. Let's say ID number, right? And then the next thing, press tab on your keyboard to put space. And then again, I hope you can see that. Let me just zoom in a little bit so that you can see where we are. Right, we are here, right? And then John Doe, our ID number here in Namibia, let's just use random number as well. So just random numbers, right? Put your ID number, and then the next thing that you should also add here is maybe your sexuality, which is your gender, if you prefer, and then press tab, and then let's just say male, right? And then no, can't use male since we already here use this script art, so it's female. So let's say female since we use this female script art here, so let's keep everything fine. And then let's say the next thing maybe you can add here is also driver's license. You can have your driver's license license plus tab, and then you can say maybe code like code B or something. And then the last thing, let's enlarge this. And then the last thing that you can maybe add here is your languages, the languages, and then press tab, and then you can say maybe English, and all your languages that you speak, you can add them there, right? You got that. Perfect. You can, if you want to add space, if you feel like they are all together, you can add space by highlighting all of them and then coming here and then maybe adding space, a little bit of space. But I think 1.1 is fine, or let's say 1.0 is fine, or we can add 1.25. I think that you can add that, but I feel like that's much better, right? Perfect. Now you got that. Now let's move on to the next one. The next one is our education, right? Education in here as well. So let's just move that along. And then again, you don't want to rewrite everything, just come here, copy that, and then paste this, and then down here, got that. This is education, right? You can say education, maybe education background, right? You got that, and then copy this line and then paste it down here, and then you got it right there, right there. Perfect. And then now you want to move on to the next, your education, right? Copy this text box, you don't need to rewrite everything, just paste that, and then you got it right there, move it along, and then now you got it to put it right here. Now this is where you are adding your education. So you can start with your qualification, let's say maybe a bachelor of computer science, or in computer science, bachelor degree in computer science, right? And then you can add the schools where you go to, let's say at NAS, which is Namibia University of Science and Technology, Namibian University, how do you spell? University of Science, right? And Tech, right? And then you can set here also, you can add the year, just add the year that you graduated also, let's say 2016, right? You got that, right? And then what you want to do is highlight your qualification, a bachelor, so that it can be highlighted, right? You got that. Now you can paste, or you can do it, depends on how many lines you got or how many qualifications you got. So you can add all of them down here. So I'm just going to add mine, but you see the deal or how to do it, right? Perfect. Now you got that. The next thing that I want us to move on to is come back to here, and I want us to add our skill set. That's also something that you need to have. Copy that and then paste this, and then let's say you can add your professional skills and abilities. Professional skills and abilities, right? And then you want this line, select the line, copy, paste it down here, Got that. And then right there, now you want to add this, copy that text box and then paste it down in. But this is going to be your skills, like I said. So again, you can add all the skills. To go fast, I'm just going to write up a couple of them and then I will come back, right? So I just drafted or added a couple of random skills right here, right? You got that. So now let's say we want to make these bullets, highlight all of them and then come into here. You want to add a bullet to this, you can choose whatever bullet you want to use, you can use that. And I think there is too much space here, so click here and then come to bullets and numbering, right? And then you want to remove the space, intended space. Let's set it to 0.5 maybe, right? You got that. So that's how you add bullets to your. Come here and then select the bullets that you want to use, right? That's how you add bullets. Perfect. And now if you want it, if they're in the same line and you want it to, you just press enter and then that will set it a new bullet, right? You got that. Those are your skills. Now let's actually add your qualifications, I mean your experience. Right click and then experience. So experiences, right? You got that experience. You got need this line and then paste that and then you got it right there. And then the next thing that you want to is copy this, right? Copy this and then paste it down here, paste it down there. You got that. And then now in here, the first thing that you want to start with, right, is the company or experience that you're working with, right? The experience, I mean yeah, the role or your occupation. So let's just say let's say technician or web developer or something, web developer, right? You got that, web developer right there. Now the next thing that you want to add in here, right, you can add, press enter to move to the line in there at the bottom, right? And then in here you can add the company that you are working for, or let's say yeah, the company, let's just say Candoa Media, right? And then you can add a line to separate, and then let's say you can add maybe the city also if you want to. Let's say Candoa Media, which is in Vinduk or something, Candoa Media Vinduk, right? And then you get that. And then in here you can add that the duration when you started and where it ended. So let's just say started here, let's say February 2016 until now. Put the school there and then till date, right? You got that. Perfect. And then you can highlight this and then bold it, make it a bit bold. So you can also add, maybe add space in here to 1.5 so that you can have space. Right now let's add your duties, copy this and then paste it, right? Or you can even, yeah, you can copy this tab and then paste it down, right? Let's say you want to add, move it along right here, right here, and then in here you want to write your duties and responsibilities, and then you want to make this big, right? So let's just add random duties and responsibility, right there. And then duties and responsibility, these are just my duties and the responsibilities, right? Let's say response. So let's say you cut all that, so let's just paste these ones or two, press enter, paste that, enter, place that, and enter, and then place that and then enter. Let's say we press it 5 times. So you want to add bullets, again highlight, come to your bullets and then choose the bullets that you want to use, If you see that there is too much space, go back here and then click on bullets, and then you want to remove the intent to set it down to 0.5, and then you got that. So you added your experience right there, right? You got that. So now the last thing that I want us to add in here, which is your references, which is something that you should have on your CV, your references. So I'm just going to add them down here, and then come here, then paste that, and then click on that. Got that right there, align that, and then let's just copy this and then paste your references down here, and then come here, right? You got that. So now what I want us to do, highlight everything to delete. Let's just say Mr. let's say Ambrose, Mr. John, let's just say Mr. John Doe, Mr. John Doe, right? And then the next thing is the occupation, with this, let's say a general manager, and then the company is, let's say, Candoa Media, and then the telephone number or something, let's say tell, right? And then just type, yeah, tell, start typing. So let's just enlarge this. It is +264, and then the number 81, and then just random numbers. Got that. And then let's maybe add the email as well. So john@media.com, right? You got that. Enlarge that. So you don't want this, you don't want to bold them, right? You got that. Your references, again, you can add as many as you want, but for this tutorial I'm just going to show you how you can add your references. So that's literally everything that you need to have on your CV. You got that. So now maybe if you want to add a bit of design, you can add something like a box at the bottom here, like this box right here at the bottom, maybe, where you can text wrap none, and then change the color to this. You want to remove the outline as well, and then maybe you can add that box right here, right there. The height maybe can be 2, you can set it to 1, right? And then yeah, just drop it down there, and then set it back once. Then you got that, right? You got your professional CV right there. Got that? So yeah, perfect. That's how you can come up with your perfect design. So now if you are done with that, you can save it as a PDF. So you can send this, you can save that as a PDF. You can come on here, save, and then on your computer you can go on, and then you can click on publish as save as type, and then click on PDF, and then click on save. And then as you can see, you got your CV looking like that. See that? Perfect. You got that layout right there. So yeah, that's how you can design your CV. You don't need any designing experience. So yeah, you got that. Perfect. I hope you find this video helpful. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and leave us a comment down below. And if this was your first time, please consider subscribing and hit that notification bell so you get notified every time we upload a new tutorial. With that being said, that's it for this tutorial. I'll see you in the next one. Peace, love, and unity.